Now, what's crazy about all of this, we heard what we heard yesterday about Tony Grossi speaking about none other than Dillon Gabriel. Now, this article came out today. It stated Cleveland Browns analyst brutally rips into Dillon Gabriel. Let's read this. It says Dillon Gabriel has now been the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for the last 4 games so far. And it states he has not done anything to show that he can be a long-term quarterback, which we all can agree on that. Now, following that performance, Cleveland Brown analyst Daryl Reuter spoke out with harsh words and brutal criticism of the rookie.
Things are getting rough for the Browns' rookie quarterback, but that's nothing new. What is new is how reporters are finding new but brutal ways to gaslight Dillon Gabriel. But does he really not deserve it? Of course he does. As long as Shedeur keeps getting pushed aside, Gabriel is definitely not escaping the hate anytime soon. But what does the recent report actually say? What came out that can make Gabriel lose his mind? Gabriel might be on the edge of a full-blown meltdown.
Now, they're saying everything but change the damn quarterback. You have to change the quarterback up. You change the quarterback up, you win the game. It's a quarterback-driven league. I don't know, man.
What a reality check that is. Although brutal, yet painfully true. I mean, seriously, what has Dillon Gabriel actually done to deserve this endless stream of support from his coach? Every time he messes up, we get the same tired lines. He's new, he's still learning, he just needs time. How much more time does he need? Because from where everyone's standing, Gabriel has had every possible chance to prove himself. And he's still playing like a rookie stuck in preseason mode. His passes are way too short, his confidence is all over the place, or I might say, overconfidence. And his leadership? That's practically non-existent. Yet somehow, the coach keeps standing behind him like he's the next big thing. It's almost starting to feel like favoritism, and I'm not gonna lie, it's actually insulting. For everyone. For the franchise, for the fans, for the whole league, for Shedeur, and for Gabriel himself as well. What makes it sting even more is that there's someone like Shedeur Sanders waiting on the benches with a hunger to play that can lift the entire team. But instead of giving him a real shot, the coach keeps doubling down on a quarterback who's clearly out of rhythm, and out of mind too. And that's where fans are starting to lose faith, not just in Gabriel, but in the whole decision-making process. Because let's face it, no matter how much you defend a player, talent speaks louder than loyalty. And right now, Shedeur's silence on the sidelines is saying everything that needs to be said.
He stated, I'm so frustrated that Andrew Berry did this. Reuter stated that he spent a top pick on Dillon Gabriel, that they kept shoving this guy down our throats. I told you in the training camp, the guy wasn't it. This is unwatchable.
Who in their right mind thought drafting Dillon Gabriel was a good idea in the first place? Like, seriously, what was the need? You already had Shedeur Sanders, a player oozing with raw talent. Yet somehow, the Browns thought it'd be smart to gamble on a rookie who's still trying to figure out his own playbook. It's almost laughable, passing on proven potential for a new player who's yet to show a single spark of greatness. Whoever made that call better have a solid explanation, because right now, it looks less like strategy and more like straight-up sabotage. But was this really just a bad call? Or a deliberate attempt to destroy Shedeur's career?
We all remember when he got that speeding ticket, right? It was a speeding ticket. Granted, was he going fast? Yeah, he was going fast. But the fact of the matter is, they blew it out of proportion. Myles Garrett, like 2 weeks later, ended up getting a speeding ticket too. But you didn't see it reach the heights that Shedeur did. You didn't see multiple upon multiple videos coming out from these Cleveland media people talking about Shedeur talking about Myles Garrett getting that speeding ticket. But it's things like that that played out to me during the offseason that tried to hurt his character, as a person. But you want to know what Shedeur did when all that was going on? Visiting more schools, pulling up on kids, going to the trenches, going to the hood. Think about any other player in the NFL that's young, like Jaden Daniels. No disrespect to Jaden Daniels, but you don't see him pulling up to the trenches. Caleb Williams ain't going to O-Block. You ain't seeing Shedeur was going to the trenches, bro. Do they like him going to the trenches? No. At least I don't think they do. And I think that's part of the reason too as well why they went at him so hard is because He was going to the trenches.
Now this right here says a lot. They turned a simple speeding ticket into a full-on scandal just because it was Shedeur. That whole thing just proves how unfairly Shedeur gets treated. The media didn't just cover it, they jumped on it like it was breaking news of the century. One small mistake and suddenly he's the talk of every show, every headline, every comment section. It's almost like they were waiting for a reason, any reason, to drag his name through the mud. That's not journalism. That's actually what it's called, a witch hunt. And what makes it worse is how obvious the double standards are. Other players mess up all the time, sometimes even worse, and it barely makes the news. But when it's Shedeur, it's like the whole world loses its mind. They twist every story to make him look arrogant and immature, when in reality, he's just doing what every young player does, learning, growing, figuring things out. It's like they can't stand seeing him rise, can't handle the fact that he's confident and unapologetically himself. You can almost feel the bias in every headline. They don't want to see him shine. Because Shedeur isn't just another rookie, he's a name that carries weight. And that scares people. It threatens the comfort zone of those who think they get to decide who belongs and who doesn't. So instead of acknowledging this, they try to tear him down with nonsense narratives and overblown stories. But here's the thing. No matter how hard they try, Shedeur is the only one fans and analysts will keep rooting for, until he himself shows that he isn't a good player.
Gabriel, so it seems like they're going to stick with the rookie third rounder here for the, at least for another week, if not longer. I would assume longer. But look, he said that he's going to they're going to look at everything. They're going to evaluate everything. I said on the post-game pod that for everybody on that offensive staff, Kevin and Tommy and whoever else, this should be hell week for them. Like, this should be the worst week of the year for them, trying to figure out what they need to fix with this offense.
Coming back to the Browns, let's be real. It's clear they're still refusing to face the real issue. Everyone can see that things aren't working, but they're all pretending that it's not there. The quarterback situation is the problem, and everyone knows it. Yet for Stefanski, it's always someone else's fault. The receivers need to improve, the defense needs to tighten up, the strategy needs to change, but Gabriel is untouchable. No matter how bad he plays, Stefanski keeps defending him like he can do no wrong. It's frustrating to watch. At this point, it's hard not to wonder what's really going on. Is Stefanski's love for Gabriel too deep to admit his mistake? Or does he have some personal grudge with Shedeur? Either way, it's ridiculous. Everyone sees Shedeur's potential, yet he's being ignored for reasons that make no sense. The team's progress is being held back just because the coach refuses to face reality. It's not about improvement anymore, it's about ego. And if Stefanski keeps this up, it's only going to drag the Browns further down. And it's actually happening. It's not a joke. Dillon Gabriel's going nowhere anytime soon. They still want to test him, like the last few games weren't enough proof.
Play calling be something that is on the table. And he did say they're looking at everything, except for, of course, the quarterback situation, which I find a bit odd. But they are looking at everything, and I do think that it is something that they will take a look at. And I actually would be for a change in that regard, not because I think he's doing a bad job, because I think everybody involved with the offense right now is just trying to navigate a bunch of really young guys trying to work through this, and it's not easy for anybody. So I don't know if it would be the fix, but I think they have to try something. I think they have to try a few things.
Let's be honest, Stefanski's play calling has been a disaster. Week after week, it's the same predictable plays, the same poor timing, and of course, the same results. Like, how are they going to change anyway? And nothing works. It's like he's calling games on autopilot. There's no strategy and no sense of what's actually happening on the field. The offense looks confused, the drives fall apart, players smash their helmets on the field out of frustration. And yet, Stefanski still acts like his plan is working. And the worst part? He keeps putting his full trust in Dillon Gabriel, who's clearly not ready for the level he's been thrown into. Everyone can see it, except the one man who matters most. What's frustrating is how Stefanski refuses to take responsibility. Instead of admitting his play calling isn't clicking, he blames the execution, the defense, or even the weather if he has to. But the truth is simple. The calls are bad, extremely bad. They don't fit the players, and they definitely don't bring out the best in the team. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is still being sidelined like he's invisible. The team needs fresh energy, but Stefanski keeps recycling the same ideas as if that's going to fix anything. At this point, it's clear the problem isn't just the plays. It's Stefanski's mindset. He's too stuck on proving that his decision to back Gabriel was right, even when the results say otherwise. He's letting pride get in the way of progress. And that's what's dragging the Browns down. The longer he keeps Shedeur on the bench and keeps running the same failed plays, the deeper this team is going to sink. And honestly, it's now about accountability only. And right now, Stefanski doesn't seem to have any. Fans and analysts have had enough, and it's about time the whole team loses its patience. Fans are calling for Stefanski's removal every single day now, on social media, sports talk shows, post-game panels. Everywhere, it's the same message. He's got to go. People are tired of watching the same poor play calling. What used to be quiet frustration has now turned into open demand. And honestly, they're not wrong. Stefanski was once hyped up as a strategic genius, but now he's being called exactly what he's become, a gimmick coach. And that label fits perfectly. His system looks good on paper, but it doesn't win games. It's all talk, no results. Fans want a leader who adapts, not one who hides behind excuses. Every bad game just adds more fuel to the fire. And at this point, even his supporters are starting to walk away. Until there's a real solution for Stefanski, which, let's be honest, clearly means his removal, this mess isn't going anywhere. The team will keep struggling, and young players, especially Gabriel, will continue to be at the center of all the hate and frustration. It's a cycle that won't stop until someone in charge finally makes the tough call. What do you think? Do you agree with Tony Grossi's brutal criticism of Gabriel? Or do you think he deserves a bit more time to prove himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates and breakdowns just like this one.